we're going to do the eyes. What you want to do is create a magic circle and insert 5 single crochets into that. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now in each of the 5 single crochets we did, we're going to enter 2 single crochets into each one. Okay, so here's the first one. One, 2. Okay. The second one. 1, 2. The third one. 1, 2. The fourth. 1, 2. And the fifth. 1, 2. So you should have 10 single crochets all the way around. Now in each of these 10 you're just going to do 1 single crochet in them. So 1, the next one, 1,
third, fourth, fifth, 6, 7, 8, 9,
and 10. Okay. So now what we're going to do is that we're going to flip it inside out. So see how the string is on this side? We're just going to flip it out. We want the string to be on the inside and the eye is going to be like that. So now we have to make our pupil. So cut the string, but leave a generous amount because we're going to be using that end to tie it inside the mouse. So don't cut it too short. Okay, there we go. And now we're going to make the pupil. So take a black string. So for the pupil, we're going to take a black string. It's in the same weight as the white string. Okay, so the same thickness. And you're just going to tie a knot. Okay, except don't tie it close yet, just keep it like that. Okay, like this. Then you're going to tie it again, so take your end of the string, insert it, loop it around once, like that, and loop it around one more time inside that. This, okay? Then pull. Okay? And that's going to be your pupil. So now you can cut the black string. What you're going to do is that you're going to feed it through the center hole of your eye. So take your crochet hook, poke it through the back into the center,
and then just feed in both ends of the black string. Oops. One, and two. There we go. Feed it through there like that. Okay. Now,
the string here at the end, we're just going to pull that, and that's going to tighten the circle, the hole that the pupil's in, so that it's not going to fall out. Pull this through, make sure everything's good, and then what you're going to do is tie the knots here at the end. I like to do double knot, just so it's secure. Now take one of the black strings and the white string in the center of the eye, and just tie it off so that it doesn't come undone. Okay. Now these three strings, the two blacks and the one white, we can cut. Remember, don't cut the one that's still attached to this loop here, because we're going to be tying that into the rat's head, and we need the length to do so. So these three strings you can just cut shorter, like that. Okay. So I've already completed both my eyes, and now I'm going to show you how to do the ears. Okay, so now we're going to be starting with the ear. So to do that, create a magic circle and insert 5 single crochets into that. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so now just tighten this a little bit, and in each of the 5 crochets we will in each of the stitches we will insert 2 single crochets in each stitch to increase it to a total of 10 stitches all the way around. Okay, so in our first stitch, insert our hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Okay, so that's 1, and we'll insert 1 more stitch, single crochet into that stitch, so 2. Great. So here's the second stitch, 1 and 2. Okay.
the third stitch. 1 and 2. The fourth stitch. 1 and 2. And the fifth stitch. 1 and 2.
Okay, so now we are going to do 1 single crochet followed by 2 single crochets in the next stitch. So 1 single crochet in the first stitch, and in the second stitch 2 single crochets. So 1, 2. Okay, next one, 1, the next one 1 and 2. Okay, the next stitch 1, the next stitch 1 and 2, the next stitch 1, and the next stitch 1 and 2, the next stitch 1, and the final stitch 2, 1, 2. Okay, so the next thing we want to do now is for the next round we want to change the yarn. So take your gray, loop it over and pull it through the pink loop like that. So for the next round we want to do 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, followed by 2 single crochets in the next stitch, 1 and 2, then 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and 2 single crochets in the next stitch, 1, 2, and you just want to repeat this pattern all the way around.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 2.
Okay, so at the end of this you should have 20 stitches. Okay, so let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, what I like to do is I like to just slip stitch in the next pink one here. Okay, just slip stitch there like that. Okay, so now you can cut the gray string, but give it a long tail because we are going to sew it up into the rat's head. So make sure you give yourself enough, and you can cut the pink string now. We're not going to be sewing the pink string, so you don't have to cut it too long, but you would probably want to weave it in, so give yourself enough room to do that. And then now we are going to sew on the ears and eyes. So I finished both ears. So now it's time to sew it on to the head. So we're going to start with the ears, and the loop here, you can just pull the string through it to finish it off. There we go. And with this string you're going to want to weave it into your thread needle. Okay, but before you do that, I'm going to weave in the pink strands into the ear so that it hides it better. Okay, finally we have this long one left. I'm just going to stick it through my needle. Okay, so I'm going to determine which is going to be the top and the bottom of the rat. I'm going to put the ears on the top of the rat, find a good spot for it. I'm going to make sure that I sew it in the area with the stuffing, so that when you close the book over it, the ears don't get caught into the book. So I'm not going to put it way down here, rather somewhere close up here. So the way I'm going to sew it is that because my string is on this end here, I want to determine that this will be the bottom of my ear, and I'm going to sew pretty much this part here into the head so that it's secure. Okay, so here's my head. I'm going to determine that my ear will go roughly here, stick it through the stitch like that, pull it through. Okay, I'm going to stick it, I'm going to take my thread, push it through one of the stitches, the bottom of the ear, and stick it through the next stitch. In the head, stick it out like that. I'm going to pull it tight like so. I'm going to do it one more time just so it's secure. So I'm going to take a loop on the ear here, poke it through, and then poke it through the next stitch in the head, stick it through like that. Pull it, and there we go. Now what you can do is just weave the thread through a little bit here. Okay, so that it's secure. You can actually stick it all the way through to the end here, just to make sure that it doesn't come out, and then you can cut it off. Like that. Okay. Then you can take your needle and sort of stick the end inside the head here, like that, and there you go. Okay, so that's one ear. So I'm going to finish the other ear and I'll get back. Okay, so as you can see, I finished my ears. So now I'm going to start with sewing on the eyes. So again, if you have this loop, just pull the yarn through. Okay, to tie off the knot like that. You should have cut your strings so that they're short. You can even cut them shorter than this if you like. I'll just stick them inside there like that. Okay. Then determine where you want the eyes to be. Typically it should go right underneath the ear. Okay. Take your yarn it through your needle. And in the same process as before, determine where you're going to sew it. Sew it about there. Find the hole in your head. Insert it. And then pull through. Okay. Then in the stitch here, right, just stick it through there, insert it in the head, and pull through. Okay. So continue doing this all the way around. You want to make sure you sew pretty much every stitch so that there's no holes going through. And I'm going to finish this eye, and I will finish the other eye, and I will meet you once we have completed that. Okay, so here I am. I finished sewing the eyeball on the rat. I'm just going to finish by sticking it through the final loop, the final stitch in the eye, and then finding my way into a random hole at the back here. like that, pulling the yarn through, okay, so that it doesn't come undone. Cutting the yarn, and then just take your thread needle and poke that yarn back in to the head. Okay, so now we are done with the rat bookmark. You might find that the tail and the body might twist. All you can do is just put it into a book, okay, or put it under something flat and heavy and let it sit there for a while, and that should flatten out the bookmark and the tail and the arms. Okay, so thanks for watching. If you like this video, check out my channel for some more videos and subscribe if you like them. Thanks. Sometimes when you're crocheting, you might have a piece that ends up twisting like this, and I've found a fix that can actually make it straight.